Hello everyone, it is Magnum, and welcome to Weed Talking, or Wise Enlightened Educational Discussion. Essentially this is just a format where I talk about some topics, because even though I haven't been that active on YouTube over the years, I've gotten many comments over the years on a range of different topics from people saying things like, "Are you high?" or "You must be drunk to say something like that." So I thought this would be a fun format to talk about some different things. Anyway, today I'm talking about the Rugby World Cup final, which I ended up watching on time on the internet. Didn't get to sit down with a bunch of people and watch it, and that's the only format I enjoy watching rugby in. The only real interest in it for me is just to sit down with family or a bunch of friends. But I guess the experience I had with watching it was comparable to how someone might feel going in to see a movie cold. You know, when you go to see a movie that you don't know anything about and you go and see it and you're just completely watching it with no judgment whatsoever. That's how I was when I was watching the Australians versus the All Blacks for the 2015 World Cup final. And on that note, just as a sport, I have to say that rugby has always been far more appealing and interesting to me than, say, for example, the America's Cup, like yachting. In terms of watching a sport for entertainment's sake, like the sport itself, not just the atmosphere of going to see the thing and, being a part of it all. If you look at rowing, for example, where they row from point A to point B, it's like, oh my god, they're on the home stretch. But rugby's usually always a good watch. And this game in particular was not a bad game by any means. I think it wasn't until about half-time when the Aussies were leading. It was something like 15-17, and then it became 21-17. Eventually the final score was 34-17. But it was by no means a boring game. You get those games where it's like a blowout and one team just gets, 50 points to fucking 10 or something like that. And you get other games where no one scores throughout the entire thing and it's like watching fucking soccer. But all in all, this was a good game, and some very interesting things happened in the game that I'd also like to mention. The most poignant of which, towards the end, you saw this little kid run out onto the field, and one of the security guards rugby tackles him. But he wasn't like a streaker or anything. Apparently, I read some article, he was a Sonny Bill Williams fan. But he was just like a little 8-year-old or a 7-year-old, and he ran out onto the field, and some goonball just goes and tackles him. And the reason why I found this so interesting is because the only real work I've done this year, mentioning that, was I've done quite a bit of work for security, just working at Eden Park and, different arenas around Auckland. But I've discovered that if you want to get work in, say, security, you can sort of just apply online and get a job that day, and they'll give you a one-day training course, and then they just text you whenever they need someone or they need workers, and you just turn up, and it's that simple. And you can get given a multitude of different tasks, and it's just sort of luck. You get drawn out of the hat. And you might have to be, for example, a rover, which is a person who stands in the crowds making sure no one is smoking. And you can also just get flat out put on bag search and have to search bags for 10 hours straight for deodorant cans and knives. And you can also end up a security guard surveying the pitch. And I got given that job one fucking day, and I was told that if anyone ran out there, like a streaker or something, I was just told to go and fucking tackle them. Bearing in mind, I'm a guy that, has had no training. I literally just applied online for a job, and they gave me a job, and it's that simple. And I remember thinking that when I was watching this World Cup final, and there was some little kid goes running onto the field, and I was just thinking to myself, some prick like me is going to have to run out and tackle that kid. And sure enough, some prick ran out and G-rolled him. And it was pretty fucking funny. I think also of mention, Sonny Bill Williams actually gave the kid his gold medal after finishing the game, just for the fuck of it. And that was a nice touch to the story behind the entire event. And for that reason and many others, it was actually quite a colourful experience for me watching this game, despite the fact that I wasn't watching it with a big group of people or family members or anything like that. It was too fucking early anyway. That all being said, if you enjoyed this video and you liked what I had to say, then please leave a comment letting me know on what I should do with future projects, as I'd like to do more videos like this on this channel. And of course, if you enjoyed, please subscribe, as it would be good to see you on my next one. Cheers again, and I look forward to bringing out more episodes of Weed Talking. Thank you very much.